What's going on, everybody? Scouts 37 back with part 2 of our Lord of the Rings Passage Through Mirkwood video. So that first one was very long because a lot of explanation, stuff in the beginning, and trying to exactly discuss how each turn works. The rest of the time here, I'm still going to talk about stuff, but I'm going to try to get through it much faster and probably do maybe 2 turns of video, something like that, speed it up a little bit. So I did make a mistake though that I saw when I was watching the video over again, and that was that when Thalon has an ability, when he quests, which he did last turn, that anytime an enemy comes off the encounter deck, they take damage. The spider should have had 1 damage on him when he came out. I didn't do that. So when Aragorn hit him and did 2 damage to him, he would actually supposed to have killed him. So I'm actually just going to do that now. So as you see here, Thalon is committed to a quest, deal 1 damage to each enemy, as it is revealed from the encounter deck. He came off the encounter deck, so he should have had 1 previously. So we're going to kill him now, because that is how it should be. I did screw up, and I will screw up, because for multiple reasons. This game has stuff that's you got to remember, and the fact that I haven't really done it with this too often yet is going to cause me some problems too. So anyway, so we are now on to our second turn, which is our resource phase. We did not do that, I don't think. We went from refresh to new turn. So it's test dummy's turn over here. So we get to add resources to all our heroes, which is what we did there. We already put our threat up, and each hero gets a card as well. Test dummy goes first, so we'll give him a card, and he gets Feint, which is a very good ability. Good event card. It stops an enemy from attacking you for 1 turn, or 1 phase. So it's very useful if on very tough guys, to give you a little bit of a breather. It is a tactics card. And Skells will get Common Cause, a card I haven't really used much of, actually. I'm not saying it's bad, I just never found a exhaust 1 hero you control to choose and ready a different hero. It could be useful, I guess. Any hero you control to choose and ready a different hero. So this is from Skells' deck, so he would have to exhaust one of these guys to ready and choose and ready a different hero. So he probably could ready a hero on the other side, but he would have to actually exhaust his own to do that if needed. So it's something to remember. Okay, so now we move on to planning, and what we're going to do with Gimli, because he took a little bit of damage, we're definitely going to spend 4, I think, of our resource tokens to bring in his Citadel Plate, which gives him additional 4 hit points. So it's a restricted item, which pretty much means Gimli you can only have 2 restricted attachments on your character at one time. Doesn't matter, they're not copies, just 2 in general. So having 2 of the Citadel Plate or having the Citadel Plate limits him from other things, but this is an important one for him. He now has 9 hit points besides the 5, and he also, remember, for every point of damage he has him, he does more damage. So he can technically, if we get him up to like 7 damage, he'll be swinging his axe for about 9 damage every turn. So that's pretty nice. He'll be able to kill a lot of things pretty swiftly. And let's see, with Eowyn, we really don't have much to play with her. Stand and fight we don't need. Test of will we don't need. We'll hold on to our resource. This is something, if a win revealed effect comes out, we can play it to stop it. And Gandalf we're not going to do with. So now Skells goes. He has 2 points here, 2 for Denethor. I could call him Denethor, I think. His name's Denethor. He could play Nimrod or Nimrida, which I would like to play, but he needs 1 more token to do that, so we're going to hold off on him. Aragorn or Theodred could play the Citadel Guard, which could be useful. We got the Spider here. He's already here, so he's only going to hit for 2 next turn, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. we can actually use Aragorn to guard that spider. Aragorn has this Sentinel ability right here, as you see on his card. That means in a multiplayer game or a 2-deck game, he can actually defend the other player's attackers. So depending on what we get off the draw, we may have him defend the spider, and then Gimli can attack, something like that. So should we play guard? You know what? Here we go. I see these things I forget. She has the Steward of Gondor, so she can exhaust to add 2 more resources to her resource pool. So we're going to do that for her. So she's up to 6. Now does that mean we can play anything else with her? We could play Gandalf, but there's no real need. We'll still just wait on that, but she does have a lot of resources. Aragorn, and yeah, let's play the guy. We'll take a couple of resource. That's 2 between the 2 of them, and we'll bring out our Guard of the Citadel. So he has 1 willpower, 1 attack, 2 hit points. So he's just pretty much a basic guy. I think we have 3 of him in our deck. You actually get 3 of him in the core set. He's pretty much the standard guy, but he does have 2 hit points, which, isn't terrible, I guess. Alright, so everybody's played their plan in, so we'll go on to the questing phase. We have 2 points of threat in the staging area with this forest. We have Old Forest Road here, which needs 3 tokens to get rid of it. And of course we have this spider right here looking at us. So we are definitely going to quest our girl for we're going to quest Thalin. I'm going to assume that Aragorn is going to come over here to defend this attack so Gimli can kill him. Hopefully we don't get anything too nasty that has to come down on these guys. But we do have our Guard of the Citadel out to block if that does happen. And we'll quest Theodred as well. And I guess we'll quest Denethor too. Quest it because we have this guy here to block. Well, no, we'll quest the Guard because Denethor has better defense and they both have 1 willpower. So there's no reason to. We'll just keep him back for his better defense. And we'll quest Aragorn. And by questing Theodred, of course, Aragorn gets a resource token. But he also spends that resource token to ready himself again so he can defend or attack. So that looks like what we're going to do there. So let's pull a couple of encounter cards off. We got, oh shit, the Hummer Horns. This is the worst card I would have probably in this whole core set. It's nasty. The good thing about it is it has a threat of 40, as you see. So he's not coming out for a while. We have 30 and 29 threat. So we don't really have to worry about him. But when he does come, when he engages you, so the second he comes down to fight somebody, he deals 5 damage to a single hero. This kind of damage defense does not block, meaning that he can pretty much one-shot every character. He can kill Aragorn with no damage already on Aragorn. He can kill Theodred, he can kill everybody. The only one he can't kill right now is Gimli because we put this plate on him. It would take him down to 1 hit point. But being that it's 40, we have a while before we can decide what to do with him. What we'll probably do with him eventually, if it comes down to where he's going to come after us, we're going to play one of our Gandalf cards. Because when Gandalf comes into play, his abilities is he can either have you draw 3 cards, deal 4 damage to 1 enemy, or reduce your threat by 5. So if we bring Gandalf in, the minute he hits the table, we can pick an enemy to deal 4 damage to, which will kill off this guy. So if that comes down to it, we'll do that. And we get another forest spider, so we pull in a lot of enemies. But only one of these 2 guys is going to actually deal any damage to us, but he is going to come down to fight. He has 25 threat, which is lower than both of our guys. Okay, so that's our quest phase. So we're bringing 4, 5. Oh, and before I forget, and I always forget, Thalin does 1 damage to each enemy brought in from the encounter deck, so he actually does 1 damage to each of these guys, what I forgot last time. So now the Hummer Horns only has 2 damage. The biggest problem with them is when they come down to fight, not fighting them afterwards. So that's why we still want to try to kill him while he's up here if we can. But the forest spider now is down to 3, so that's good. So now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with Aragorn going up. and we have 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so that gives us 4 tokens. We have to put it first on our Old Forest Road. So we add 3 there of the 4, and then the 4th one can go on our actual quest marker. Old Forest Road is now completed, so we can discard that. And we are halfway through our first quest here. So now we could travel. And if we wanted to, we can travel to the Forest Gate, where the first player may draw 2 cards. So we're definitely going to do that, because that's good anyway for us to draw 2 cards. So the first player right now is Test Dummy. So he gets 2 cards. So let's make sure we have him highlighted, and we'll draw another Feint card, which is awesome. Very defensive, and Unexpected Courage, which is overly awesome. Probably one of the best cards in this deck, in this game, one of my favorites. You attach this to a hero, you can exhaust Unexpected Courage to ready attached hero. What this basically means is once we play this card on somebody, they can tap themselves or they can exhaust themselves either to quest or to defend, and then we'll be able to play this right afterwards, and then we'll be able to flip them back up to either attack or whatever afterwards. So they actually kind of have 2 turns, 2 things they can do a turn now instead of 1 like normal. So it's an awesome card. We could put it on Gimli so he can defend, and then he can come right back and attack again. So he can slowly build some more hate up, basically, of getting hit, and then he can do some big damage. There's a lot of places to do it. He's probably the best guy to put it on, really. I would think. Thalen does a couple points of damage, and so does Theodred, but Gimli's our guy who's going to smack things around. So that's some good draw. Feint is a really good card. We have 2 of them now, and Unexpected Courage is good as well. Alright, so now we move on to our encounter phase. And yes, the Hummer Horns are staying up there for a while. So the 4 spiders are going to come down this way, I think, to take on Denethor, because we don't want him over here right now for Gimli. So we won't be able to kill him this turn technically, but that's okay. So when he comes down, he gets 3 attack, not 2. So this first time he comes down, he's actually going to do a little bit extra damage. So what we're going to do is first we get to put down, well, we go to combat. So first we have to put down some shadow cards. So the first shadow card is going to go to the first player's characters. So the first one goes to this guy over here, and the second shadow card will go over here to this one. Why does this 4 spider not have a dot? Is this from the original? It must be the first one that came down from the first party. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, so we are going to, let's do this attack first, see what happens. Well, actually it's the first player's turn, so he has to go first, technically. So what we're going to do is defend with Aragorn with his Sentinel ability. So he will defend this attack. That ability, as I said, allows him to defend attacks that aren't just on his deck alone. There is the version of an attack one that's called ranged, that you can attack somebody who's fighting somebody else too. So they have Sentinel for defense and ranged for offense. So we got to flip this card over. This guy's doing only 2 damage. He's been here already. And we get Caught in a Web, which is a great card to get as a shadow card, because what it does, it makes it so your heroes cannot ready themselves during the refresh phase unless you pay a couple of tokens of resource. So having that as a shadow card is great because it just gets rid of it basically. So this guy does 3 damage on, or 2 damage on Aragorn's 2 defense, so he gets no damage. So he did a good job blocking there. Now Gimli gets to attack the spider. Gimli is now swinging for 5 damage. He has 2 normal and then 3 because he's been hurt with 3 damage. So 5 minus 1 is 4, and that will kill off our 4 spider over there. So that's worked out very well for us. So now we got another force spider. This guy's got 3 damage coming in because it's his first time down. So this shadow card is something. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack. If this attack is undefended, raise your threat by 3. Denethor, actually, I forgot to do that, but he was going to defend that. I mentioned that earlier. So Denethor has 3 defense. Now this guy now has 4 offense. So Denethor actually takes a point of damage. And this shadow card gets discarded. Now, so that is our turn. So we still got this guy out here we got to deal with. This guy's going to sit here for a while. And we're working our way through this quest. So now we go to refresh phase. Everybody flips up. And everybody's threat actually gets a point added to it. So Scouse is at 30. Dummies at 31, which is still quite a way away from the 40 we need for this guy, so that's good. And we go to the next turn. So now Scouse is first player. All his characters get a resource. All of these dummies characters get a resource. And everyone's got 7 resources. We're actually going to flip. Well, Scouse' turn first. We don't have any attachments on any of these guys, so that sucks. So what we got here? We got Denethor with 3. He has Unexpected Courage that he can play, and he will be playing that here, I think, because there's really nothing else worth for him to add right now. So we're going to take 2 resources off of him, and we'll put our Unexpected Courage on Gimli, I think, and that will make Gimli pretty much a one-man animal for the most part. And we will, we got 2 here. We could play a Veteran Axe hand, but we'll save them for Feint. Well, we'll get one next time. Oh, we have the Blade of Gondolin. I forgot about that, which is another great card for Gimli, actually. And we have... Oh, I just screwed up. Did I play? I did. That was really bad on my part. I was on the wrong deck. So we got to put the resources back on him and get on the proper deck, dumbass. Okay. So now we're on the right deck, Scales' deck. Stupid. I'm like, man, this is weird. I don't seem to have the right stuff. Because, yeah, he's a tactics guy. He's not a leadership guy. Okay, anyway, we got to fix now. So, what do we have? We have Exhaust 1 hero. We have we have the Daughter Nimrodel. Actually, that's what I wanted to play, I think. So, we'll take the 3 tokens off of him. And then we'll play the Daughter Nimrodel. And her thing is you can exhaust her to heal up to 2 damage on any 1 hero. Now what you want to do with her, if you exhaust her now, there's a chance when we pull cards off that encounter deck that we might get another Necromancer's Reach that does 1 damage to everybody who's exhausted. So it's usually better to save her until maybe after our the quest phase, because if we get any nasty cards off of the quest phase and she happens to be exhausted for healing somebody, she'll just end up dying. And we don't want her to die stupidly like that, so we'll probably save her from healing until after that happens. It will be before combat, so it shouldn't be a problem for guys who are hurt. We got 2 here, though, and we can't really play nothing, or there's nothing really necessary to play right now. So now we'll move over to Test Dummy's hand, and now we'll play Unexpected Courage on Gimli, like we should have done the first time, in the proper way. So all those 7 resources she's been holding on to, she can actually use 3 of them to do that. Or actually it's 2 to pay that card. So she actually is able to do something good for us with all that money she's got, or all those resources she's got. And could she play anything else? Well, not really. She could play a Gandalf if we want to get rid of that now. He is adding 1 to the threat table, but is it worth it? I don't know. It's only one. I'm not going to worry about him yet. I'll let him sit up there for a minute. At least another turn or so. We got 2 resources from our tactics guys. We'll keep one for feint in case something nasty comes down. So maybe we'll play Blade of Gondolin. We could throw the axe though with 2 on Gimli, which would give him 2 more attack and make him completely awesome. The blade would go on Aragorn, I would think, because he does do some damage. The special ability with this Blade of Gondolin is you get +1 attack when attacking an orc, and every time you are part of an attack that destroys an enemy, you put 1 progress token on the quest. So it's a way to get more progress tokens on the quest. It's a pretty good card. I don't know if Gimli needs the axe yet, so I think I'll play the Gondolin Blade, because Aragorn is probably going to kill this guy next turn. So we'll take the 1 token off of Thalon here, and we can play the Blade of Gondolin to any hero. So we'll put it over here on Aragorn, so he gets that bonus. And I think that's it for this turn. 3 down. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. We'll keep Gandalf off just for a little bit. 1 isn't terrible up here, and I don't want to waste all her resources, and we might need a test of will here to play. So at least maybe next turn I'll throw him out. Since we do have 3 Gandalfs in the other deck, we're just waiting. We got to build up enough resources to play him though, but we'll be coming out over there too. Okay, so that was actually our planning phase. So then we'll move on to our quest phase. So she will go as usual, Thalon will go as well. And now Gimli could actually go, but I think we'll keep him back for... I think we'll keep him back in case somebody comes down, he can defend and attack him. We'll go with our Citadel Guard, and we'll go with Theodred again. And maybe we'll just do that. Theodred can add a token to somebody. We'll give it to Denethor, a resource for... Oh no, we can't give it to Denethor because it has to be another character that is committed to a quest. We'll give it to... let's give it to Eowyn, and then she can bring out Gandalf next turn and still have a couple extra tokens, I guess. Let's do that. So we have 6. We could put on Aragorn and then quest him and then use the token up, but I kind of don't want to wait. I'll just keep that token instead of wasting it. It's not a waste, but we'll see how we do with it. We got 4, 5, 6, 7 going in then. There's only 1 sitting there, so we should make some progress. You know what? No. I'm going to do the normal. I'm going to give it to Aragorn. I'm going to commit Aragorn to the quest. That'll give us 9. And then I would have given him the token, and then I'll take it off and ready him. So that will give us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 going in. Just in case. We don't need 4 more to get past this part. So at 7, there's a chance we would only get maybe 3 with that if we get some bad cards. With 9, there's a good chance we're going to at least get 4 and get through this first part of the quest. Why waste another turn? Well, actually, we also have this forest too. I forgot about that. I guess it doesn't matter. We have to get this forest out of there. But regardless, let's draw some encounter cards. We got another forest spider. Gather all over the place. And a forest web. The Great Forest Web is 2 threat. Each player must exhaust 1 hero he controls to travel here. Forest Spider, and so this is 25. He's coming down again. We'll bring him down for Gimli, I think. He'll be hitting for 3, but Gimli's got a lot of hit points now. All right, so we had 9, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minus 2, 4, 5 gives us 4. So we actually have enough to. Well, that's good actually that I did that, because we'll have enough to take off this forest gate. We couldn't put any on the actual quest itself, but we did get rid of that forest gate right off the bat. Okay, so that is our quest phase. So now we'll travel. If we travel to the Great Forest Web, each player must exhaust one hero he controls to travel here. I really don't want to do that right now. Each player. No, I'd rather not do that right now, so we're going to keep that up there for now. Move to encounter phase. It is Scales' turn, right? Yeah. And he's already got his hands full with this guy, so we'll. Oh, he's supposed to take a damage. I always forget, because with Alan, when they come off the fucking deck. Sorry for swearing. So Scales is not going to take him, so we'll have Test Dummy take him and bring him over here on his own. Gimli could defend, and with his unexpected courage, he'll be able to ready himself again and then attack. So that's nice. Okay, so now, but he does remember he has 3 attack the first time he comes down, the Forest Spider. So now it is time for Scales 311 to figure out what's going on here. So we'll have Denethor. Well, first we have to actually add shadow cards. So the shadow card goes here first because he's first player. And then another shadow card over here. Alright, so Denethor is going to defend against this spider. Take a look at this, and we do have a shadow card. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack. +3 if it's undefended. So that sucks. So he's got, instead of he's swinging for 4, Denethor does have 1 defense, or 3 defense, so he only gets hit for 1 point of damage, but he's on the brink of death. So the shadow card can go away. We are going to tap our Daughter of Nimrodel here, because we can do exhaust actions during this phase, and she's going to heal Denethor for 2. We're past the point where any encounter cards can really hurt her, so might as well do it now before I forget. Then we are going to attack with Aragorn. This is not an orc, so he doesn't get any bonus to his attack. So he hits for 3, -1 is 2. And that is not going to be enough to kill him. But he is on the brink of death. Should have kept one other guy up, I guess. Well, then we wouldn't have quested through that. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're over here, and we got Gimli defending against our Forest Spider, because he's the only one who can. So let's check this shadow card out. It is another bad one. Attacking enemy gets +1, +3 if undefended. So this guy has been sitting here, right? Or no? I'm getting confused now. No, he took him. Actually, he was only going to have 2. It didn't matter. We still healed him up. I think he only had the 2 attack, actually. Or whatever. This guy has 3. Yeah, we brought him over to Gimli. So he has 3 attack right now. So that is actually 4 attack on Gimli. 2, which gives Gimli 2 more damage. Which would normally kill him if he didn't have the plate, but he's got it. And now we're going to use our unexpected courage to ready Gimli. And he now is going to attack. The more damage he does, more hit point, more attack. So he usually has 2, now he has 7. -1 is 6, and he just really smacks the crap out of that spider. But he doesn't have anything special for killing anybody, does he? No, he doesn't. Alright, so that is going to be that turn. And we move on to refresh phase. Everybody turns up. Our threat goes up a point for each character. And we move on to resource. Or actually, we move on to the next turn. Test dummy is player number 1 now. Okay, so that's a 2-turn video. That's kind of what I want to do, I think, and we'll just work our way through this thing. We're not doing bad. We only have 1 enemy in the staging area, and he's not coming down, still not coming down for a while. We may bring off Gandalf just to wipe him out so we don't have that extra 1 point up there for the remainder of the game in our staging area. And we'll probably travel to the Old Forest Road. If we have a character available, we have to exhaust a character on each side, so we could technically exhaust Gimli and use Unexpected Courage to bring him back if we needed to next turn, so we can defend something or whatever, depending on what we get up here, because travel comes after the quest. So we'll see where we're at after we quest, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with that. Alright, so that's about it for now. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll continue on in the next video. Take care.